everyone, welcome to week number 6 in 2021 in terms of the Gran Turismo weekly race guides, and another good week this week, I would say. First up, race A, which you can see in the background, is at Redbull Ring. Let's have a look at the race details then. First of all, we are racing 4 laps here at the Redbull Ring. We are racing on sports medium tyres. It's a grid start and everything is as per normal. Now you don't have to worry about full start check with this one either. Now you can see we're racing in Hondas. So yes, VTEC kicked in, yo. You've got the choice of the Civic Type R or the Integra Type R. Now time trials, the Integra is winning. However, the Civic can race against the Integra. You know, you'll see that in the race itself. So let's jump to it now and I'll talk you through some tips, tricks, the race, and how Spain is about to start hating me. Here we are then at the start. As you see, most people in the Integras, it was the lead car on the time trials. However, Quinton and a few others decided to pick the Civic Type R, going for full VTEC in any of these Hondas, to be honest with you. So with a start, you're going to put traction control on 1. Very simply put, because you're going to get wheel spin, front wheel drive. You know what it does. It spins those front wheels in any category of car. And there you can see it in action. So we head off there. We get quite a good start. Quinton just forgot to start, basically. I think he said something about the brake, to be honest with you. But obviously no full start check here. So we're going to head towards turn 1. As you head up here, as you go for the braking zone, you're going to have to brake around 70 metres-ish. Obviously it depends where you are on the grid. You have to brake a bit earlier if you are me in the middle of the pack. As you can see, we're on the outside of the German here, who's also on the outside of the Israeli. So we're going 3 wide. Heading towards turn 2. Obviously a big overtaking spot, this turn 2. We'll see what we can do though. As you can see, we're just getting pushed a little bit here. Just not enough space given there by the Israeli, I would say, maybe. Just because it was 3 wide. Maybe couldn't see me on the radar. I don't know. Quite a difficult position to be put in, to be honest. But we will get through. Fine and dandy. And we're going to head down towards turn number 3 or 4. Or however you number these corners on this circuit. Because it's all very odd to me. Heading down here then, we're still side by side with the German then. In towards the braking zone we go. Try and brake a little bit later here to try and go around the outside. Very much a possible move here. German just going to understeer a little bit there. Just a little bit of a tag. Nothing major though, but we managed to keep on the circuit there. I'm just going to fall in behind Apollo for now as we head towards the left-hander then. And lots of action in this race. Quite a long race A, this one as well, to be fair. And I actually think this is a very good race. I mean, you've seen some good action already. You can have some good side-by-side action here, and you're going to see that throughout this race. A little bit of a tap there from Apollo, the German, on the Israeli here, as we continue through the right-hander then. Let's see what's going to happen as we head up there. I've got a little bit of a run on the front, the 2 in front here. Apollo goes towards the right here, looking down the inside of the Israeli. Is he going to get it done? Dives down the inside there. Was it on? I'm not too sure. Sort of swings and roundabouts there. In towards the second one. And then that's a big tap there. Maybe felt like he got cut off the first time. I'm not sure what happened there, but that looked like a very late dive on that second part. We're going to take advantage of that, and Quinton's following suit behind me here. Very well aware of Quinton behind me as we head towards turn 1. So I'm sort of trying to just get the best line. Going to the braking zone, and as you can see here, the 100-meter board is your brake marker. As always with Redbull Ring, the 100-meter board is your best friend. If you're unsure, pick 100 meters. And then you can always adjust accordingly through there. Now you can run a little bit wide here. I always try and tend to keep 2 wheels on the red and white curb in there. That way I can guarantee I'm not going to get a penalty. Or for the majority of it I can at least. As we're going to head towards turn 2 then. So as you head towards turn 2, you're going to look for, yes, that's right, your best friend, the 100-meter board. As you see there, we just hit the marker, and we're going to drop all the way down. Now, Quinton's on our inside, so we're going to have to give it up a little bit. You can brake just a bit later than this as well, as we hit that marker now. So we're trying to go around the outside. Look at that, 3 wide behind me there. They all managed to avoid me. As I say, I think you can have some good racing here. The cars are slow enough, the track is wide enough. I think good racing is definitely on for race A, and I don't think you'll get too many huge penalties. You're just going to watch out for there's dive bombs that can happen. Once again, this corner, 100-meter board is your best friend, but not quite as late as 100-meter board here. You're braking just before it in this situation, and you're going to drop to 3rd gear. Don't go any lower than 3rd gear. You want to really roll through the corner. Basically, in being in high gear as well, what it means is you're going to get less wheel spin. And the problem with 2nd gear, your wheels will spin up and you understeer more. So just staying third gear there. Now it's that 100 meter board now. They can go away. We're dropping them for the 50 meter board. That's what you're looking for here. And again, this is all about controlling the wheel spin now in this section of the circuit. We've had all the power parts. It's all about handling. Handling, it means trying to avoid wheel spin where possible. So you can see I dropped third gear here. Potentially you might be able to keep it in fourth gear there. Just have a bit of a play. Now this second one, where the short circuit meets the full circuit, end of the curbing essentially, you're going to brake. Now I stay in fourth gear in this Integra. However, the Civic has much more of an advantage over the Integra on this corner. As you see, we go through there. Now Quinton just pled that up a little bit there. Quinton was just being Quinton being Quinton, let's put it that way. We do love you, Quinton, though. You know that. So I'm just bumper drafting Quinton here. I don't really want to go past, I want to head further up. Now, the brake marker for here is actually the Marshalls. Now, I've let off a little bit early, and the reason for that is because I was right behind him. I don't want to actually send him to the Shadow Realm there, although that's where R4M members belong, of course. We know that. And through we go, stay in fourth gear. Now, as you head towards this last corner, you see the Austrian flag on the left there, the red, white, red, Austrian flag. The very end of that, you're braking just before that. You're going to drop to third gear, and you can really cut the inside. This car, the Integra, handles this right-hander so nicely. And through we go. Happy days, and we continue on. So, what's going to happen for the rest of the race? Well, let's advance a bit further on then. Right behind Quinton here. Let's see what Quinton does, because he's right in front of me. Not close enough to the Spaniard just yet. In towards the braking zone we go. Quinton decides to outbrake himself there, so we're going to try and go down the inside. This is that third gear. Notice I don't drop to second. We also don't have the gear shift delay, which is in these cars, so you've got to be careful of that. But Quinton just keeping his nose in there. A little bit faster, the Civic, in a straight line. Just doesn't have the handling of the Integra, which is swings and roundabouts on this circuit, of course. As through we go, we're still side by side. So this is where I keep it fourth gear. Now this is where you're going to see the advantage. Quinton gets an absolutely beautiful line through here. I just run a little bit deep. And look at the gain he gets here, because I just bogged down a little bit too much. And down the inside he goes. Obviously, once we start getting into the upper echelons of the RPM, we start to level out here with the gear changes as well. But Quinton on the inside there. I back out of this early, let Quinton go through. We fight another day on the very final lap. No point going too wide there at all, in the slightest, unless it was the last lap, of course, as we continue through here. And we are getting closer and closer and closer to the Spaniard up ahead. I did say Spain's going to start hating us in this one. Well, you're about to see why Spain's going to start hating us. But first of all, Quinton, all over the back of the Spaniard there, in towards the right-hander, outbrakes him there. They're going to go side by side through this corner. Some lovely racing action, just enough space left there. Look at that, beautiful racing. Just enough space, perfect racing, happy days. And they're going to have this drag race. This is where you see the Civic is a little bit faster in a straight line. Look at that increase in speed there from the Civic. I assume the drag of the rear wing, maybe. I don't know. That's why the Civic's a little bit faster. In towards the braking zone we go. I was expecting the Spaniards to go a little bit deep here. And that's why I try and take a really tight line. Doesn't quite work out, and the Spaniard makes the corner very nicely there. Fair play. So Quinton and Lucky Extreme going at it, but we get a good run off there. So we go on the outside now. I was half expecting him not to notice me there, which was the case, but we just had enough room, so we come back. We're going to try and down the inside now. Little taps here, there, and everywhere. And then we're going to get alongside here, very much alongside, and we go for the braking, obviously, because we have to brake for the corner, brake early there. But the Spaniard just turned straight across me there. Not sure what that was about, really, if I'm honest. Maybe a mistake on the Spaniard's part. I don't know. If you're watching Lucky Extreme, I was just doing my normal line there. I was alongside you. Have to give it some room there. But we continue on all the same. We're in P5. We're not going to finish in P, Steve. Thank goodness for that. We don't want that curse upon us, although maybe we want the Italian puns returning if you watched IGTL. In towards the line then, P5 for us. As I say, I think this is quite a good race, to be honest, and I actually recommend racing it a few times. I think it would be quite good fun. I think you'll have some good races with a few good people. Lower down, might get a little bit dive bomby, but yeah, just play it safe. And have some good races. Let's head to race B, where we are racing at Yamagiwa. Now it feels like we've not raced at Yamagiwa for 3 years. However, we are back here, and let's have a look at the race details first of all before I have a look at the cars, which you can see in the background. We are racing 4 laps here at Yamagiwa. It's a rolling start. We are on racing medium tyres, so that softer compounder tyre still continuing throughout the daily races, which is good to see. Now, as you can see, we are in Group 3 cars, so pick what you like, enjoy the race, in my opinion. Now, I picked the FT1. The Supra seems to be the best at the moment. The Supra was dominating towards the end of last week as well at Bathurst. So, quite a strong car at the moment, that Toyota Supra, it has to be said. However, I've gone with the FT1 in this situation. Let's jump to the race. I'll talk you through some tips, tricks, and why Spain continues to start the hatred towards me, how we would imagine. Here we are then at the start of the grid, lads. And a little different cars, mainly Supras. We've got a Beetle, we've got a Mercedes, we've got the FT1, we've got the Porsche in there, we've got Honda. So, you know, and Nissan as well, sorry. Nissan as well. We'll feature that Nissan shortly, actually. Noticed it was a Spaniard racing it. Well, you'll see why soon. Anyway, we're going to get ready with the race. So, as I say, with Group 3, I say this every single time it's on. Just pick the car you actually like to race. Do not have to go with the meta at all. Enjoy the car you like to race, and you should be able to have some good fun. We're going to head towards turn 1. We're going to go straight to a track guide as we do normally on Daily Race B. And this first turn's a hard one, okay. Now, there's no real markers. Sometimes you use a 50 meter board. Here, you're braking a little bit later. So try and pick some of those trees on the right side. There's 2 big ones and one on its own at the very end there. Now, the one at the very end is a bit too late to brake in my opinion. However, they should give you some idea where to brake. So after the 50 meter board, you've got 2 big trees that really stick out. Pick one of those 2 and you should be golden really in any car. So we're going to head up the hill. So just abuse the curbs a little bit there. Avoid mounting the curb there. You'll go flying off into the barrier. We're going to head towards this one. Now, this corner I love. It's a fantastic corner that's on the game. Now, you can pick the 50 meter board, or you can go a bit further on and pick the Marshall box here. I go for the Marshall box. I like to trail brake a little bit more into the corner. Really try and sort of clip the inside if I can to go out a little bit to then come back in. You notice how it just went out. It stopped moving away from the curb. At that point, I can accelerate back in. So we're going to head down towards the chicane, which is the one where you cut as much as you humanly possibly can. But you're going to brake just before the 100 meter board here. You can see I'm full on the anchors at this moment in time. Well, you do in this car anyway. Other cars may differ. You know, just use that as a marker. And what you want to do is you actually want to cut quite a lot of the chicane, like I did there on that middle part. As long as you have 2 tyres on the red and white curbing, you are golden. You should be fine. The Spaniard there getting a 1 second penalty as we head up to here then. So you can see I broke quite early here. I was already half braking. But you actually use the end of this yellow text on the road. It's a good brake marker. That's what I've used. And then even if you're going for a move, you can see it on the inside. So we've got a bit of a gap here. Everything all sort of tightens up. And unfortunately for the Spaniard there, yeah, it's a bit awkward really. I get a 4 second penalty for that one. Is it deserved? I don't know. Heading towards this corner, by the way, end of the curb is the brake marker here. You just dab the brake quickly and sort of chuck it left. Now, what I would say is don't fully accelerate. Balance the car as best as you can. Either don't use any inputs at all or just dab the brake as I did there. Last corner is the 50 meter board here. Nice and easy. And you can take several lines. You can take for a nice rounded line if you want. You can go for the triangle. You can do all sorts of weird stuff here. But 50 meters is usually your brake marker. Everyone going for the nice rounded line here. Try and get round next around the corner. So I suppose, was that my fault with the Spaniard? I mean, there was a big gap there and I put my car in it. Was he always going to come back? Potentially, yes. Should I have been there? Yes. No, I don't know. Racing incident in my opinion. There's no one's fault. Now, how to do chicane properly, by the way. Here you go. So slam on the brakes. Notice how I'm trying to cut that as much as possible and then try and straight line that. And then what you can do is straight line that a little bit more as well. But the run I got on Tidgney there, you know, it's absolutely massive. If you nail the chicane in time trial, you're going to get a solid lap. And I suppose that's the problem with this circuit to some extent. Everybody hates that chicane because it's all about how much can you cut, how much can you abuse, how much can your car handle the bounce of the curbs. And that is really the fundamental part of this circuit. So while I like the circuit, it is a bit of a problem. Now, we're going to have a bit of a race with Blue Racer here. So Blue Racer just taking a penalty there. No idea of the length of that penalty, but quite an awkward position here. Because obviously we're on the outside here, and I tried to outbrake Blue Racer, but I was already ahead, so I should have broken a little bit sooner. I saw Blue Racer at the last minute come on the inside, so I sort of darted out of the way. Unfortunately for Blue Racer, just runs too wide. Tried to get on the throttle too early there. Into the barrier, Blue Racer went, and that was the end of that battle there. So we're going to try and catch up to the Dutchman now with Sam I-90, or Sammy 90. It could be Sammy 90 actually. So in towards the braking zone again. We're trying to cut this as best as we can. We didn't cut that well enough. Notice how the car's lost the rear. Consta's been to Narnia there. Goodbye, Consta. I hope you enjoyed your stay there. Happy days. And we're going to try and get past the Dutchman here. So in the police Porsche RSR. So we're going to try around the outside. That doesn't work. So I was going to try the cutback then. Just completely failed. Just got a load of oversteer then. Trying to overturn the car to try and get on the inside. Did not work out. Heading down here then. Again, end of the curb. So I had to stab the brake a little bit early there. to get it online. A bit of dirty air probably involved in that one. So Porsche staying in the middle of the road there. Good defensive line really for that corner. You will see some people go for the inside. Doesn't normally work out here. Try and go for the run on the exit. Unfortunately, I got a bit of oversteer there. So I can't get past, unfortunately, and that's the end of the race. A little bit of short race, this one. It's much shorter than race A by a minute, which is a bit bizarre, to be honest. So it should have done with an extra 2 laps, and it'd been golden. But again, a race you can have some good racing at. But again, there will be some incidents, which is why I showed the incidents as well, and I didn't rerun this. So yeah, it's nice to visit Yamagiwa again and have a Group 3 race here. Could do with being a bit longer. Let's head to race C then, where again, it's another interesting race. Why did I go high pitch then? I have no idea. However, actually I do actually. We're at Suzuka. I love Suzuka. It's a fantastic circuit. Let's jump to the race details then before I talk about the car. We are racing 11 laps here at Suzuka. It's a grid start with a false start check, so that gets a little bit iffy straight off the bat. We are on, if I can speak, racing soft and medium tyres once again, and you are required to use both. Fuel usage ×2, tyre wear ×8, and once again we have some funky strategies available to you, but we'll talk about that in just a second. We are in the Super Formula car, as you can see, so there's going to be F1 liveries for days applied to these cars because we can't officially do it to the F1 car. Yes, it is actually some good racing here and very good strategy. So in terms of strategy, 2-stop or a funky 1-stop or a normal 1-stop if you want to do that as well are all available to you. Let's jump to the race then. I'll talk you through what happened in my race and once again why Spain is really going to hate me now. Here we are then at the start. So some interesting liveries and you'll see a lot of F1 ones, as I said in the intro for this race. Now, there are many strategies, as I said. Funky 1-stop, 1-stop, 2-stop, probably even a funky 2-stop in there, to be honest, to get out of some dirty air. We're going to start on the medium tyres. I was always going to go for the 1-stop on this one. Traction control on 1. Make sure you get a clean getaway here. Make sure you hold the handbrake. The handbrake's the best one to use here. And then you can just release the button and off you go. So we get that done. We're going to change that traction control down to 0. And off we go with the race. Now, our brake balance is wrong at the start of this race. I'll talk about brake balance after. It's also in the description if you want to see it now and there. But going into here at the start of this race, yeah, it's fairly clean. Somebody's gone off to Nani there. I'm not sure who that was. I couldn't quite see. Someone called Lewis. But the Spaniard in front of me kept braking really hard. It kept scaring the life out of me. It gets even worse as we carry on through here. So as we get up to here, slams on the anchors, and I was like, whoa! So that, you know, I had to slam on. I hit him slightly, then people hit me from behind. It was all a bit, yeah, it was all a bit all over the place. Let's be real here. However, we continue racing. And hopefully we can have some good racing here. In fact, there is some good racing here, actually. I'm lying to you. So through we go. And we're going to be catching up to the Spaniard again. So I am trying to look at getting past the Spaniard if I can. I went, you know, they broke early, but then I shouldn't have really gone for that move anyway. So that's my mistake, to be honest with you. You know, when someone breaks early and they're on the right, and I'm sort of like, oh, I'll go to the left, and then they turn. Yeah, my mistake there. You know, I hold my hands up to that one. It's my mistake. We continue racing. As you can see in the background, I actually went all over the place with Azura behind me, but we've all sorted it out and we carry on racing. So looking to catch back up to the Spaniard and Consta up ahead. Now the overtake button is an interesting button. Let's be real here. Now, you want to use it where you can gain the most advantage. You don't want to just use it for the sake of using it. There's a couple of people go in the pits here who are on the 2-stop and somebody plugged it into the barrier there. I'm not sure who that was. I think it was somebody called... Oh, there we go. Sozo 46, an Italian there. So a couple of people doing the 2-stop. Max Power coming out just ahead of me there. We will have a look at the pit stop time when we go in the pits shortly. So yeah, the overtake button, you don't really want to use it in like this sort of area. You want to use it for a little bit out of certain corners to get the advantage as the Spaniard goes off there. They actually broke late this time and rather than early, so we gain a position. So coming out here, for example, if you want to try and catch up to somebody, you might want to use it. But I particularly didn't want to use it too much in the early stages here, knowing I was going in the pits. Our blue race behind was another one of the 2-stoppers right behind me here, so I know they're on soft tyres. However, we're catching Consta at fair pace to knots here, and we're going to go to the inside where Consta is. We have to break a little bit early. Blue Racer goes for a fantastic move on the outside on the softer compounder tyre, gets the job done there, and through up to P12 for Blue Racer. I don't really lose much from this though, to be fair. Blue Racer was already ahead of me, and we start fighting Consta here on this next lap. So I'm using the overtake at this point, try and get the advantage. Consta has no slipstream, that's the other critical part of this. You've got to be careful about wasting it when others are in slipstream as well. It can get complicated, but you really have to the advantage after this corner. Using it out of this, the Casio triangle, for example, really good. Now, I accidentally come in the pit lane here. I don't mean to. I had lap 4 in my head, but I came in lap 3 for some reason. So I put soft tyres on, and I'm doing a 1-stop here, so this proves it can work. However, coming out right behind two drivers here fighting there, the sort of Benetton livery. So there's the F1 liveries for you. Spaniard up ahead, just runs a little bit wide there. In fact, he's in a Mercedes livery. So there we go. We're getting the F1 liveries out there. So we managed to get in a position back straight off the bat. We're not in, you know, substantial dirty air where it's cost us a lot. And then we're actually in the slipstream range here. Consta and Elsura go off wide there. A bit of a tap there as Consta rejoins with Metal Maniacs. They just ran a little bit deep. Unfortunately for them, they get a penalty. Don't think that's deserved, that penalty, if I'm honest. Let me know if you think otherwise in chat. Right, we're going to go onto the lap guide now, of course. Now, the lap guide is going to be very different to a normal Suzuka lap guide because we are braking extremely late. I'm braking, or looking for that piece of curb there. Yes, I'm already on the corner before I even start braking. It's the same on medium tyres, but maybe just a tiny bit earlier. And then you want to go all the way out to come back in here. I'll trail brake a bit more here as Metal Maniacs decide to have a party. A bit like our friend, the British driver. Was it just Diglett? Doug Trio? Oh, I can't remember your name, mate. I know you're a Pokemon, but happy days. Through we go here on the right-handers. You don't brake for these, just, you know, you carry on. That's why I was getting so confused with the Spaniard early on, because there was a lot of, you know, heavy braking, and I don't brake at all for them. I never have done. Lots of fighting going overhead with this battle, but you can only just stab the brake at the 50-meter board here and really chuck it into Tidgney 1. Now, Tidgney 2 is very different from anything normal, because you don't normally carry this much speed through the corner. You have to brake early, so I couldn't use my normal one, which is the end of the curb. I was having to pick the tree out on the right side and using that as my brake marker. So when I was straight, and as long as that tree is in vision, I was braking, I knew I'd make the corner. I'd stay in third gear to avoid any wheel spin in second. Second will spin you out, so just be careful of that. And then I'll push on here. Now, again, we carry so much speed through Tidgney 2. We're braking quite early for this corner as well. So we come through here, we're carrying a lot of speed, a lot of acceleration. Just after the curb, you straighten up, you brake, basically. So I'll point out that curve there. Notice I went straight on the brakes. We stop it. Now, if you get it pointed and squirted out, you should be golden. Medium tyres, a little bit more leery on the rear, of course. So just be careful of that. And we're going to have a bit of a fight here with Elizura, Metal Maniac, Grisu as well. So we go down the inside here. We can't really do much else. So you approach Spoon. You're going to brake just after this tarmac section. Normally we're braking on it. Brake just after it. I'm having to brake early here, of course. I'm behind the Austrian. I don't want to rear end them to Narnia. And we're on the outside as well. And we go through here. And I haven't marked the brake marker there for the second part of Spoon. Sorry about that, but it's the end of the curve, as normal. Normality resumes for that one, folks. Anyway, we're going to continue on here. So this is a perfect time to use overtake. No slipstream for the Austrian. We can really get up to that top speed. Don't keep using it when you get close to the top end of 6th gear. It's pointless. And as we head towards the braking zone, you're not using my normal one here, which is normally the old pit lane there with the yellow. You're actually using a 100-meter board here, just before it as well, actually. You can go just after it, depending on tyres and stuff, but I was carrying a lot of speed here, so just before it I broke. And through we go. Happy days. Oh, in fact, I've said the word broke here. A couple of people are going to absolutely shoot me down. I apologise if I've said that. My English is atrocious, even though I'm English. Anyway, we're catching up to Just Dio now there, the Portuguese driver. Round we go. So again, this is another excellent opportunity to try and use the overtake because no slipstream up front. And we did catch up to Just Dio fairly quickly here. So we're going to try and go around the outside. Quite a dangerous move this to get done. Obviously on the inside, it's a shorter circuit for them on that inside line. But we get the job done. Through we go into P11. Happy days. And round we go again. Let's advance a bit further on now. We've got to Wee Dan, and we've gained a few positions from people going in the pits on the two-stop strategy. But we actually really pushed to try and get to Wee Dan on this lap before the first corner. I was really pushing hard, which is why a lot of my overtake has been used. So just after the hairpin and onwards, I didn't show you because it's pretty boring, but I tried to get as close as I could to get in the slipstream on that start-finish straight to get ahead. Now, Blue Racer got stuck behind Wee Dan, which gave me a bit of an advantage. Remember, Blue Racer is on the two-stop. I'm on the one-stop strategy. So through we go here. A couple more people coming in the pits there. Lap 9 for whoever that was. In towards the Catio Triangle we go. You can cut quite a lot of this, by the way, and just put the power down as early as you can. Now, you notice my front tyres worn. I was on the wrong brake balance for the start of this race. I really was. And I'll say I pitted the lap early as well. So I would say 3 or 4 on the brake balance. You should be golden. You notice I used my overtake there. Completely pointless to use my overtake there. Blue Racer was coming past irrespective. Don't do it when you're going to get past easily like that. Save it for a better moment. Save it for the comeback, which I was going to do here. Go on to the final lap. I was thinking, excellent. Here we go. This is the perfect opportunity for me to stay close and go for the move. However, there's a Greek driver coming out the pits here, and Blue Racer goes for a very ballsy move there. Gets the job done, to be fair, and gets through. Now, that's going to cost me time because Illusion, of course, is going to be on the fresher tyres. I'm now out of Blue Racer's slipstream, technically, because I've got to focus on Illusion. So it's really going to cost me a lot of time as we just fast forward this. as we continue up towards the hairpin. Look at this. Don't you wish you could go this fast, folks? Reminds me of the X2010 days on GT5. Anyway, round we go, and obviously I know Illusion's going to go for a move at the last chicane. It was always expected here. Goes to a last minute dive down the inside of Blue Racer. They both just survive on circuit, so you could argue clean move, all the same, good fighting. And we're going to continue on. We're unfortunately going to come P8, but I suppose not too bad. Say we pitted on the wrong lap. We're involved in a lot of battles, and we did a different strategy to a lot of people. So, you know, 1-stop and 2-stop available to you, as well as different laps for when to pit. Obviously, you can pit when you want, which is perfect. That's the kind of racing we absolutely love. So, fantastic job there, Gran Turismo and Polyphony Digital. That is going to be it for this week's Weekly Race Guide, folks. I hope you have enjoyed that. Please do leave a like if you did enjoy that. Please subscribe if you're not subscribed already, because we are getting closer and closer to 20,000. We're under 300 away. Woo! Now, in terms of content, there's another video for you there if you want to watch another one of my videos. My logo's there if you want to subscribe. And there's a live stream there. Whoever that is, it'll either be Super GT, Ollie, or somebody else who I can find. That's going to be it for me now, folks. Thank you once again. Stay safe. I'll see you soon.